Dead Center gives me so much nostalgia and is worthy of being called a classic intro. From hidden details to developer oversight, today we are going to be exploring Dead Center without having to deal with these bokoblins. No infected, just exploring. Hotel starts, well, in a hotel called The Havana, and its roof was an evac station, but I thought to myself, how exactly did people around here get rescued? I thought maybe a ladder would be dropped down, but considering the fact that the helicopter model is the same model from the bridge, it wouldn't be possible because it doesn't have any side doors, meaning it'd have to land, but where? Well, here, this is the only place on top of the Havana that actually seems feasible, but that isn't the problem because the moment you get into the game, there's no way to actually get to that place. So what was the plan? Also, the two zombies we see in the opening scene are located in room 824 and we can see them in game also. Anyway, let me give you guys a tour of the Havana. But there aren't any infected here, so I don't know what she's yapping about. Just like a regular hotel rooms, they have beds, phones, and these paintings that would probably cost a gazillion dollars in today's economy. Some of these rooms are interconnected. For example, room 800 and 801 are joined together by this door, so are 802 and 803 and every other room that follows. I've been to many hotels, but I've never seen anything like this. There's also a fella in one of these rooms that fought to the death with just his pistol. Absolute unit of a man. But enough about standard room. Let's talk about the real luxury this hotel offers. The suite. Just like the regular rooms, the suites seem to be interconnected. It has a bar or whatever you'd call this. I was expecting a kitchen, but it's probably for business. And we can tell that because the resident living here was plotting. They have CEDA documents and much more information than a regular survivor would have. They have a map of all the evacuations in the east side of America, a close-up map of the French quarters, which is where the parish takes place, a part of a newspaper telling us the Midnight Riders tour has been cancelled and the airport has shut down, and several pictures and details on the boomer. The person in this room must have either stolen these documents or were VIP to CEDA and got bodied. And who is bro trying to call? Because the last time I checked, CEDA left people on hold. And notice how messy these hotel rooms are. This is what I was expecting in the hotel rooms in Dark Carnival. Let's make our way to the 7th floor. In room 711, we can tell the survivor tried keeping the infected out of his room by blocking the entrance with furniture, but he unfortunately still lost the battle. We can also see doors with smoke seeping through the little gap between the door and the floor, and if you open this door, yeah. The closet room in the housekeeping room on this floor can have survivors that need rescuing, that being if any of the survivors die.
What? Ain't none of my business what y'all doing out there. But get me when
Room 707 is the only enterable room that isn't interconnected with any room. The 7th floor also has a lounge but no suites. In its lounge we can see luggage and sleeping bags, insinuating that people must have been staying here, which obviously makes sense as this was an evac zone. Taking this elevator leads us to the ground floor, and during this ride is where the survivors actually get to know each other.
I think we should stick together. You cool with that? I'm Rochelle. What's your names?
Ellis. Pleasure to meet you, Rochelle.
people call me Coach. What's your name?
Nick. Not that it matters, because I think we should split up when this thing opens.
Actually, in fact, a very cool detail about this level is that if you try calling out to any of the survivors before they introduce themselves, they actually call themselves random names.
We ready?
Hey, fancy man. Hey, shop dresser. Suit. Hey, dude. Little guy. Yo, youngin. Hey, big guy.
You kids
Big
ready?
guy. Hey, big guy.
On the ground floor or first floor, depending on where you're from, we can see most of it has been engulfed in flames. Banker Hall B will sometimes spawn items. There's also a security room near it that also has weapons. And there's a kitchen. Now when I told the chefs of this hotel I wanted my food well done, I wasn't referring to the building. When in the lobby, if you look up, you can see zombies falling off the balconies of the hotel and crashing into the window above you. There are also a lot of body piles suggesting that the military may have came through here. I tried checking out on my room, but there was no one to attend to me. I wonder why. I don't blame them. How do you expect a receptionist to work with just a telephone? Anyways, let's make our way to the streets. Leaving the lobby, we see two CEDA trailers, and just to the right of the CEDA logo, we see Disease Emergency Assessment Dispatch, which spells out dead. There are also a lot of body parts here suggesting that the infected tried breaking in and successfully did, as the lobby showed us, which then explains how the chaos unfolded. Now it's time for us to say our goodbyes to the Havana. I rated my stay there a 3 out of 5 because the cooks overcooked my food, and the building too. There's a medical tent on the outside where they probably register and assess patients. And we can tell that didn't go so well because the hazmat people here got bodied. This could mean that someone who was unknowingly infected was brought into this area and infected a couple of people, which then led to whatever mess we see now. We also see an electronic sign here telling people to go to the nearest evac station, that being the Liberty Mall. The painter of doom and gloom is back. Holy, this man just doesn't let up. Nice one, bro. Alright, so you're trying to piss me off. You know, throughout this video, I've been trying to be nice to you, and then you just come around and do this bullshit. Oh yeah, it's done. On Montgomery Street, we see two billboards. The first is advertising a Whispering Oaks ride called the Screaming Oak, and just behind it is a Jimmy Gibbs Jr. advertisement. The only real reason I'm going to the mall is to shop and let Ellis see Jimmy Gibbs Jr. And the second one is an advertisement of Whittaker's gun shop, and just behind it is for Leamington's Diamonds. Leamington's? Leamington's? Leamington's Diamonds. Leamington Diamonds. Holy shit. New location now open in Liberty Mall. When we get there, I'm gonna look for it. Whoever drove this truck here must have hated people in the hazmat suits because brother hit two of them. Oh god, the damaged car model is back. I'm ignoring the wall back there. Anyways, I'm assuming the truck hit this car right here. And I'm really not going to go into the details because every single time I go into the details of how this car ended up in this condition, it literally never makes any sense. Crossing over this dumpster, we're able to see another electronic sign leading us to the right way, and behind it is a bus perfectly blocking the road. This painter. All that work, but you still missed this. I'm starting to believe those painted walls may not even be for graffiti. The fence here also says Vanor rent a fence. I never knew you could rent a fence. So then what happens if you miss out on a payment? Are they just gonna sum up some boys to rip the fence of your building? I also noticed my survivors switch weapons, although they haven't killed anyone. I'm assuming the boss in general just have preferred weapons. On this street, there's rarely a Cedar trailer here, and a cop car obviously owned by a cop who was trying to defend himself out here. Also, I just like how there's a sign here saying road closed, but like it's behind these fences, so like no shit. Going up these stairs, we see two people in hazmat suits who presumably came from the Cedar trailer we just saw. Now let's head into Whittaker's gun shop and check out some prices. Just before getting to the entrance, we can see a lot of body parts, so we know Whittaker is not a man you want as an enemy. On the building, it says he's closed, which is very unlucky for me because it says he's open 364 days in a year, and I just happened to come on the one day he wasn't open. I was looking at the prices of his weapons and I noticed laser sights cost 700 bucks. And keep in mind, I know nothing about guns, but this price shocked me because it's more expensive than the submachine gun, the machine pistol, the pump shotgun, the chrome shotgun, and the hunting rifle. My boy was also doing a 2-for-1 special on the 9mm pistols, and y'all could cop them for $1,000. Weirdly enough, every other weapon aside from the ones I've already mentioned are all $2,000. The AK, the AR, the combat rifle, the tactical shotgun, the combat shotgun, the sniper rifle, and the Desert Cobra are all $2K each. Is Whittaker scamming people out here, or is he undervaluing his weapons? I have no clue, but as long as I can use Klarna to pay for my gun, I could care less. Now let's have a chat with the man himself.
I'm in a bit of a quandary, you see, and I suspect you're just the people that help me out. Come on upstairs when you're done.
Upon leaving the shop, we see two boarded up doors. Now I could swear to you, you could enter this place before. I used my free cam to enter, and yeah, it does have an interior. The store Whittaker tells us to enter is called Save for Less, obviously a play on Left 4 Dead, but the foreignist logo also resembles that of the game's logo. My question for this store is, why are the door alarms still active? Because for it to be active, it means someone must have turned on its alarms. But this made no sense because the store is already empty, and the front doors aren't even locked, so why even set the alarm? What was the purpose? Well, the answer to that is game design. The cola inside here also confused me too because I don't even know how this is here. How did Whittaker even know cola was inside? Like, did he just guess? I mean, every other shelf here is empty. I mean, there is dog food still behind, but that makes sense because humans wouldn't consume that. After grabbing the cola, here's something I noticed. The cola in the bottle moves. If you sway your camera around, the bottle sways accordingly. If you stand still, because the character's hands are shaking, the bottles are too. And this last one, I'm assuming is a glitch. Going past this place makes the bottles glossier. Upon giving the code to Whittaker, we get a good glimpse of bro. Funny enough, although he shoots an RPG missile at the trailer, we see him holding a grenade launcher. Before entering the mall at last, we found another billboard. It says taco bucket, 10 tacos for $1. That's a crazy deal. Now open at Liberty Mall. Special runs. Sorry, I can't even say special because I keep thinking of special infected. Special runs until the end of the month. Offer does not apply at Burger Tank, which we saw a billboard for at the passing, or Pizza by the Gallon. What I found intriguing about this board is why does it mention that the offer does not apply at these other stores? Perhaps they're all owned by the same company, and for all these stores mentioned, I'm going to look for them in the mall, just to know if Valve was really on that timing. Everybody, I welcome you to Liberty Mall. Now in the parking lot, we see a lot of medical tents, a cedar chiller hiding behind there, and lots of infected body parts, so we already know the operation here well left. Let's head into Capos to see what's up. Immediately after leaving the safe zone, we see body parts right in front of the door, meaning the survivors must have been attacked from both sides. I wanted to do some shopping, but the shelves here had been stripped dry. And the store also had a fitting room, which I bet 99% of you have never noticed. Ooh, I don't really know what could have happened there. Maybe they were trying to close the gates to stop the zombies from getting in, but were a tad bit too late. But the zombies here spawns with a gun, so I really don't know. Maybe she was trying to lock the zombies in, not out, and shot a good amount of them. I found a map of the mall and its directory, and I'm going to look for every store mentioned on here. On this floor, we have Guardian Sports Source, Turnbull Footwear, Lady Shoes. Yeah, Lady Shoes. You're going to notice some store names here were just, I don't know what Valve was doing with it. Coach and his big bag had this to say.
Please, Lord, let the food court be okay. Cut that shit out.
Also, whoever bodied this zombie on the street deserves jail time. On the floor below, we have Pernes, Little Pants, Business Factory Office Supplies, Big Fashion Girl. And the words big and girl are highlighted.
Poor food court never stood a chance.
Rook's Steakhouse, Morelos Heroes. Oh wait, that kind of had a little Morelos Heroes. Wait, that's kind of Taco Bucket. Hey, Val with the details. And Game Country, probably a parody of GameStop. And again, the bathrooms in this mall are extremely clean, so shout out to that janitor, man. There is one bathroom that does have a pile of zombies in it, so you know what, I'll let that slide. The guy has a very clean record, no pun intended. There's also a badass person here who shot these zombies with his shotgun and laid in this couch to rest. Going to the upper floor, we find more stores. Tucker Young, Fine Men's Clothiers, Sheffield Optical, Folks, and Bascombe Dwellers. Making our way into the back rooms of the mall, which is quite fitting considering the fact that when you enter, you can't return. There are actually alternate routes in this place, just like the parish, but done in much more detail. You can either go through the left, which then leads you to Just for Kids, where you have to break the glass to escape and as a result triggers an alarm, or go through the right, which leads us down a stairwell, through some doors, and a final door that alarms if you go through it. I'm also not sure if both paths are accessible at the same time. Moving on, in this segment of the mall, we have disco pants and haircuts, Hobbs Books, Limiting Diamonds, like the billboard said, Trebled Times Music, Just for Kids, which could also be a play on the Left 4 Dead title as we've seen before, Sasaki Wireless, Lynn's Cards and Gifts, and a couple repeating stores. In the security room where we turn off the alarm, there are two mugs here. One reads, "What Sleep?" and the other, "Layoffs anyone?" After finally escaping the backrooms at last, we made it to the evacuation center, and here is where it became apparent to the survivors that there was no evacuation available.
Guys, this does not look good.
In this last segment of this level, there's still more unique stores. We have Percy's Pets, Herbal Aspect, Fancy Trap, Clips, Classic Cuts, Fauntleroy's, and again some repeating stores. I also never noticed that this machine had a ladder that can take you to the second floor. In the safe room before Atrium, there are a lot of writings on the wall. Where is Cedar? This is not a fluke, get out while you can, don't believe the signs. Washing your hands won't help you when they attack you. And then, Gamers for Croydon. It became apparent to the people that Cedar wasn't who they think they were.
Who the hell is Jimmy Gibbs Jr.?
I heard of Jimmy Gibbs. That man's a stock car legend.
I'm getting sick of looking at this guy's face.
Well, trust me, in these parts, he's as famous as Elvis or the president.
That man is the pride of Georgia. If the laws of nature allowed it, I would bear that man's children.
What the fuck? No!
Now for the finale, Atrium. There are a couple of stores here we can add to our checklist. We have Georgia Pork Barrel, Walk on the Wild Side, Beef Boy Stew, Potato Safari, and more repeating stores. And with that, our store list is complete. I'm just glad Valve actually went through the effort of actually completing their own list. Just like in my passing video, I tried destroying the gas cans here and yes, they just respawn. Also, Who bodied this poor girl like this, bro? Now, I know in my videos I never go in depth in the finale except in my Paris video, and that's mostly because I have a video I plan on releasing after exploring all Left 4 Dead 2 campaigns that focuses on just the finales and what makes them unique. Jimmy Gibbs Jr. can also spawn in this level as an uncommon infected every 15 days. He has 1000 HP, no detachable limbs, and is fireproof. He can also blind players with moto oil similar to Mudman's dirt splatter effect, and is not drawn to pipe bombs nor bow bombs. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't get a clip of Jimmy Gibbs Jr. because at the time of recording, it is July 30th, and this website says he spawns next on August 10th. Anyways, let's go get some gas cans and drive off. The Atrium and Porta's finales have the same objective: get gas cans and fill your machine, but here's what makes them different: the map. I actually noticed that in Atrium it is harder to reach some gas cans in the upper floors. You take some stairs up and you realize you didn't even go the right way. Atrium has some level of complexity to the map, while the Passing's Port doesn't. It's a big open map with gas cans scattered around, and to maybe make up for this lack of complexity, Valve decided to increase the amount of gas cans needed to cross. And I mean, maybe a generator powering a whole ass bridge would need more gas cans to work, right? But I don't know, what do you think? Okay, I finally got in on my gas cans, and I know Ellis is hyped as hell to be in this car. Imagine Left 4 Dead 2 had a driving segment where the survivors drive down the highway, shoot zombies, and dodge obstacles. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this Dead Center video, feel free to check out my other exploration videos, and the next voting poll is up as well, so y'all should go vote between Hard Rain or Swamp Fever. This is the last voting poll for the Left 4 Dead 2 campaigns too. Anyways, you guys take care of yourselves, stay blessed, stay safe. It's Fable, and I'm out.